Hello and welcome to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name is Preston, and today we bring you Mono Red Zoro. It's a deck that we've been looking a lot at, and we're really excited to see what we can do with it. So let's just jump straight into the list. We're going to run 4 Otama. This card's great for its counter power. Plus, if a game's starting to go long and your opponent's putting up big powered cards, you can always play this card to knock them down a few pegs so that you can get that next attack over. We're playing 4 of the Dawn Moving Nami. This is a good card that you're going to play in most red decks. Being able to have access to tapped Dawn is pretty unique to Red. I don't remember if anyone else has it, but it's fairly unique to this Nami. And then we're going to play for the Searching Nami. Uh, as this card is written now, it's great for every card in this deck. Um, being able to go in and see that this card is any other card in your deck also uh, is a good opening move for you. We're going to run 2 of the starter deck Usops. Uh, this card gains a lot of value with this leader. It helps you fight against uh, blue and purple with their big blockers. And with Zoro giving him 1k, you don't have to invest as many Dons to get him over those blockers, or around them, really. Plus, this Usopp has a 1k counter, which allows you to be able to always have value, even if your opponent doesn't have blockers. Um, then we're gonna play 4 of the Brook from the starter deck. This card's gonna give you value in combos, meaning being able to play it onto the board and boost your cards on the field, like Sanji, giving him his rush ability, or pulling up pulling up your other characters into uh, like KOing powers. Uh, then we have 2 of the SR Luffys. Uh, this Luffy is the one that is unkillable when it has 2 Dawn attached, uh, which means it's currently unkillable by 53 cards in the set or that we've seen so far. And being able to add his Dawn to himself, making him self-sufficient and not having to rely on using active Dawn to initiate that ability, I think is a key part to why this card is being played currently in this build. Um, then we're going to be playing 4 of the promo Luffys. This card is able to, besides it being a low cost card, which we're going to need a few of in this deck, it has 2k counter, and when you need to swing with it, it gets big really fast. So its ability is to have 2 Dawn attached to it, and it gains an extra 2k. With your Zoro, that means he's gaining 5, making him 8k. Now we're moving on to 2 of the set 1 Usops. This card has 2k counter, which is a big plus, and also his ability to draw when your opponent's playing event cards is a good way to counter your blue decks that you're going to be facing, and possibly a lot of the other meta. We're playing quite a few events in this deck, so if you're uh, playing against most things, you might be able to get value out of this. And if you're not getting value of it on the board, you're catching it with the 2k counter. Next, we're playing 4 of the Rush Sanji. This card, uh, although first expected it not to be super great, is a super great late game card. When your opponent doesn't expect you to be able to push one more attack, you have a option to attack again at a low Dawn cost with if you have a really well set up board, maybe those 2 Dawns that get moved on to him go for free, or it's only a 3 cost rush, which is what our Zoro is, a 3 cost rush. So it's not too bad if you have a Nami on board. Um, moving on to the SR Zoro, we're running 4 of these. This deck is super aggressive. We're playing it, red because it's aggro and the rush ability that's pretty unique. I think red has the most rush cards. I believe there might be a queen and another card that has rush, but red really stands out for trying to hit hard and hit often. Um, Moving on to hitting hard, we have 3 of the starter deck Frankies. This card's gonna stick on your board. When you play him, he's gonna be 6K defending, 7K attacking. Since you're gonna be most likely playing that Dawn on Cheerleader every turn. And with a 7K power into leader or clearing your opponent's characters on board, they're most likely not gonna be able to respond to that and or give up a lot of resources to get rid of this card, which is a great concept for this red deck, is thinning your opponent's resources so that they have nothing to defend against you as you attack 4 times on your last turn. Uh, moving on moving on to the unblockable Luffy, SR from the starter deck, we're running 4 of those. This is your key attacker. In most, Sabaodis or Namis, you're gonna be trying to find 1 or 2 of these, at least 2 throughout the game so that you have an option to go in and not defend it and go in again the next turn, and they're not gonna always see it. If you're able to draw one and search one, they don't know you have that second one coming in, and they might overextend, and you're able to catch them off guard with another rush that starts at 6K, and with your Zoro again, plus 1,000, moving him into a 7K, a very strong place to be swinging in. Moving on to 2 Gum Gum Redhawks. This card is an interesting card for this build because for a lot of the time we're not going to be defending with anything other than our counters. So if you pull this card out of your life, being able to stop a second attack happening on board or to be able to counter with it and kill is super helpful to help clear board so that you can keep going in against the leader. Um, then we're gonna play one I Smell, Adventure, or I Smell the Adventure, and this card is mostly so that if you end up having a stinky hand, you can, refresh and get rid of those clumps. Sometimes you end up with a little bit of a clumpy hand where cards aren't gonna play well together, and you just wanna see new cards in your hand. It's nice to be able to reload and try again and keep going, to hit those key cards with Rush and Unblockable. I keep bringing up this next card in 2 years to Sabaody. This card is our basically main draw card for most things. Having 4 of them to be able to search out any character allows you to pick up what you need in the moment. So if you already have your unblockable Luffys, you're going to be picking up combos or counters. You're going to be picking up key cards so that you can keep pushing forward, and when your opponent responds, you're able to stave off a few attacks with the counters that you pick up with this card. Um, Moving on to Sunny, we're going to run 2 Sunnies, and this kind of goes back to what I was just saying with forcing your opponent to use more resources than they want to. If you're giving characters plus 1,000 with your leader, and then you're giving an extra 1,000 with Sabaody to one of your characters for that turn, it turns cards like Nami that only had one utility of searching now into an aggressive move that puts them on their back foot, giving them less Dawn so that you can spread that active Dawn out to different cards and pushing your power levels up high enough so that they don't feel comfortable comboing out and losing that resource. And if they do counter out, then they're stuck with less cards in hands. Um, that's the full list. I just want to touch on a few quick things, such as starting hands. I really like to see Nami for searching early on. If I can get one in the starting hand, that's super great. If I get the Dawn moving Nami early on from the starter deck, I feel really comfortable being able to extend plays further than I would have without it. Uh, Always having Sabaody is gonna be a necessity to push this deck and be able to see more cards. If you're able to remember every card that you peep, you'll know what's in your life by a few turns after peeping a few times. Um, and you'll be able to have that game knowledge. A really important thing in I think most card games is knowing what's in your deck left and what is in your life to be able to play around the hidden knowledge of what's in your deck or what's in your life. And then after Nami's or Sabaodi's, I'm looking for my attackers for pressure. I'm looking for the SR Luffy so that he can get on board and swing hard. Being unkillable is going to be really nice. Having even the promo Luffy jump down really early for strong swings into leader or the rush cards. Having Sanji, early is nice to know that you have him as backup, but you're most likely not gonna play him on curve. So I most of the time, I'm looking for, like, a Zoro or a Frankie. Getting a Frankie off turn 2 when you have 4 Dawn makes him, stand on the board even longer. Your opponent's gonna have a hard time getting over 7K to 6K every turn. Um when we were building this deck, we were trying to figure out why Zoro is the leader for this deck. And Zoro's going to make all of your attackers, minus Otama, unless you're desperate, an attacker. Your Nami's going from 2K to 3K make them a viable attacker early on, putting extra Dawn on her to be able to swing into leader early when they can't defend or they don't feel comfortable defending. It's nice to chip away at that life. Um, and that's really it. Really having that extra power on all of your cards plus 1,000 makes everybody a threat. Um, and that's why we think here at Good Game Nation this deck or this leader is going to be an early meta favorite. You'll probably see a lot of different Zoro builds through this first set one meta and probably throughout this game because unless there's a card that says plus one Dawn plus 2K power to all your characters, this character is unique in its ability and you're going to have a lot of presence on the board no matter what combination of cards you play. Uh, if you go check out our tier list, we did a leader tier list, you'll see how highly we think of this card. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Uh, with that being said, we would love to hear what you think about this list and the Zoro leader in the comments down below. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button for us. Uh, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.